Good evening, sir. Today in this video, I am going to explain about open, closed, and isolated system. So myself B Saichand, and my rule number is 21951A1269, and I am from IT B section. So subject is applied physics. So in order to study the thermodynamics, the universe is divided into two parts: the system, the surroundings. And the parts of the universal under observation is called the system, and all the things in the universe except the systems are called as surroundings. So it is a region where measurements are made relative to the system. So, for example, if we are performing an experiment in the lab, a beaker, flask, or a bounty in which a reaction is occurring is called a system, while all the other things in the lab are the surroundings. The system may be a reaction vessel, an engine, an electrochemical cell, and a biological cell, etc. The real or imaginary surface that separates the system and surroundings is called as boundary. So the type of system depends on the characteristics of the boundary that divides it in from the surroundings. So types of systems: open system, the system which can exchange both matters and energy with surroundings is called an open system, and they are a portion and in intimate contact with the larger system. Open system are sometimes termed flow systems because of the ability to exchange mass of a substance. So examples of an open system: human body and an automobile engine, a beaker of water where water can evaporate and the beaker does not insulate inside at all. So, so all real systems are open systems. So this is the open system, and the second one is closed system. So the system which can exchange only energy with surroundings is called as a closed system. So matter cannot be exchanged in a closed system. Closed systems are not usually portions of larger system and are not even in complete contact with them. So closed systems are sometimes also called as non-flow processes because of the inability to exchange mass of their substance over a procedure. So examples of a closed system are: the earth is a closed system. It receives a lot of energy from the sun, but the exchange of matter with the outside is not possible. So covered beaker of water, it is a closed system because of it heat energy can leave or enter. The amount of matter water will always remain the same unless distributed. Putting an ice bag on a injury with this some bag of plastic to contain water from engine if there is a wound. So this is the diagram of closed system. So closed system are not real, they are imaginary. So the energy process like this means does not pass like this. So last one is isolated system. So the system in which neither energy nor matter can be exchanged with the surroundings is called as an isolated system. So an isolated system may be a portion of larger systems, but they do not communicate with other outside in any way. So examples of an outside isolated system are: the physical universe is a isolated system. So combustion of glucose in a bomb calorimeter is a isolated system unless some real parameters take place. So a closed thermos bottle or a sealed vacuum flask is essentially an isolated system if the real expectations are avoided. So this is the diagram of the isolated system. So this is transfer of heat in a system. So heat can transfer between one system and between another system. For isolated systems, it is not an option to transfer heat or energy. So system and surroundings: an open system can exchange both energy and matter with its surroundings. So a closed system on the other hand can exchange only energy with its surroundings, no matter, not matter. So an isolated system is one that cannot exchange either matter or energy with its surroundings. So often the most convenient system often the most convenient system is an isolated system. One other influence can ignored either because of they cancel out or because outside influences are negligible. For example, two balls are rolling across a smooth surface to strike each other and can be considered an isolated system. So while two balls are rolling across a gravel path or thick carpet are influenced by friction originating from outside the system and therefore are not an isolated system. So while anything can be a system, much of the study of physics and chemistry is about figuring out which systems are useful to consider in studying a particular property or relationship of items within the system. So to learn more about system, please visit. So that's it in this presentation. Let's recap what we studied. So we studied about open, closed and isolated systems. So in open systems, the systems which can exchange both matter and energy with surroundings is called an open system. Means the open systems can exchange the energy and also matter. So then it's called as open system. So examples of open system are human body and automobile engine. This is the diagram. So it can also exchange the energy and matter. So this is called as open system. So the second type of system is closed system. So the system which can exchange only energy with the surroundings is called as closed systems. Means the system cannot exchange matter. So then it's called as closed system. So this is the diagram of the closed system. So in this diagram the system can only exchange energy but not matter, then it's called as closed system. So the example of closed system is the earth is a closed system, so it receives lots of energy from the sun but the exchange of matter with the outside is not possible, so then it's called as closed system. The third type of system is isolated system, the system in which neither energy nor matter can be exchanged with the surrounding is called as an isolated system. Means the system cannot exchange even energy or matter. So this is the diagram, means nothing is possible. So then example of an isolated system is the physical universe is an isolated system. Means physical universe is the example of isolated system. So combustion of glucose in a bomb calorimeter is an also another example of unless some real parameters take place. So this is transfer of heat. So heat can transfer between open system and between closed system, but for isolated systems it is not option to transfer heat or energy. So systems and surroundings, an open system can exchange both energy and matter with its surroundings. So this is the conclusion. And a closed system on the other hand can exchange only energy with its surroundings, not matter. So an isolated system is one that cannot exchange either matter or energy with the surroundings. So that's all in this presentation. Thank you. So once again we recap the what we studied. So in this video we studied about open, closed and isolated systems. So in open systems, the so first we study the basics. In order to study thermodynamics, the universe is divided into two parts, the system and the surroundings. The parts of the universe under observation is called the system, and all other things in the universe except the system are called surroundings. So it is a region where measurements are made relative to the system. So for example, if we are performing an experiment in the lab, a beaker, flask or bronte in which a reaction is occurring is called a system, while all the other things in the lab are the surroundings. So the systems may be reaction vessel, an engine, an electrochemical cell and a biological cell, etc. The real imaginary surface that separates the system and surroundings is called boundary. The types of system depends on the character of the boundary that divides it from the surroundings. And the types of system. So there basically three types of system: open system, closed system and isolated system. So in that's all in this presentation. Thank you. Hope this presentation was informative. Thank you.